thank God for the gift of life given us. Another day we gather here to continue our discussion so far. The last time that we met, we talked about the Pope and the Antichrist. Today we are going to continue this topic and also talking about the Pope and then the number 666. People have the belief that the Pope is the 666, and others also say that the mitre of the Pope is written the number 666, and for that reason the Pope is 666. So today we are going to learn about that number 666 and see whether the Pope is indeed that number 666. So the first question is, where in the Bible could the number 666 be found? The number 666 could be found in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 18. And I read the text. There is the need for shrewdness here. Anyone clever may interpret the number of the beast. It is the number of a human being, the number 666. So my dear people of God, when you read the whole chapter of Revelation chapter 13, it talks about a beast, and it was about a vision that John saw, that a beast was coming from the ocean, and that beast was so horrifying and terrifying to the point that no human being could describe what the beast is. And according to him, that beast stands for a human being, and that beast has a number 666. And that's the reason why some people say that the Pope is 666. Now, for us to understand this text that you have read, we must understand the reason why the book of Revelation was written. If you know the historical background of that book, then you understand what the author meant. The book of Revelation, which is also called the book of Apocalypse, was written by John. Some scholars think that he is the Apostle John, the one who wrote the Gospel of John. And before that, this book was written in AD 95, during the time of Emperor Domitian. And some section of the book, according to some scholars, were also written at the peak or during the death of Emperor Nero in 68 AD and then 70 AD. But you can see that two figures have been mentioned over here: Emperor Domitian and Emperor Nero. These emperors were emperors in Rome, and these were wicked people. It was during their time that many Christians were persecuted, many Christians were killed, many Christians were thrown to wild beasts for them to torture them, because they didn't want Christianity to survive. So as a result of that, there was an attempt to kill John. So John also ran to an island called Patmos. So it was in that island Patmos that he had this revelation. God revealed something to him. So you can see that those revelations, the things that John saw, were symbolic. They were symbolic in nature. When you read the book of Ezekiel, for you to understand the book of Ezekiel, it was about vision. God revealed something to Ezekiel while they were in exile in Babylon. So Ezekiel saw so many things, and God told Ezekiel to do so many things symbolically. later on explaining it on a vivid fact, with a vivid fact. So the book of Revelation, as we have already said, came as a result of the persecution that the infant church at the time were facing, to the point that John was about to be killed. So he ran away to Patmos. When he ran away to Patmos, God revealed these things to him. Now, this book was written in a way to give the infant church a hope, to raise their spirit high, that despite the difficulties that they are undergoing, they need not to be afraid, because the end will be well for them. And that's the reason why when you read the book of Revelation chapter 7, verses 9 to 17, it's a source of hope that the author was giving to the infant church at the time. And then let me just take an excerpt of it. After that, I saw that there was a huge number, impossible for anyone to count, of people from every nation, race, tribe, language. They were standing in front of the throne and in front of the Lamb, dressed in white robes, and holding palms in their hands. They shouted in loud voice, "Salvation is to our God, who sits on the throne, and to the Lamb." Let me read verse 13. One of the elders then spoke and asked me, "Who are these people dressed in white robes, and where have they come from?" I answered him, "You can tell me, sir." Then he said, "These are the people who have been through the great trial. They have washed their robes white again in the blood of the Lamb." So you can see that it's a source of consolation to these people, those who were persecuted. They were undergoing so many persecutions. So the author wrote this book to them just to encourage them that certainly the persecution will end. And even when they die, God will certainly reward them. Now, with the text that you read from Revelation 13:18, it says that the number, for you to understand the number, it calls for intelligence. You need to understand. You need to have wisdom in order to know who that person is. And then when you read the whole chapter of 13 about the beast was so terrifying, killing people, tormenting Christians. So anyone who torments Christians, anybody who ignores the worship of God, anyone who deters people from worshiping Yahweh, such a person could be classified as 666. So even in our time, people who deter people from worshiping God, who wouldn't allow people to even worship God, such a person could be classified as 666. So we ask ourselves, is the Pope 666? Is Pope deterring people from worshiping God? No. At the time, we were told by the text that, the beast forced people to worship the beast, deifying people. And we believe that in our time, we are not deifying the Pope. The Pope is not being deified. The Pope is being respected because he's the leader of the church. And so far as he's a leader of the church, respect must be accorded him. Here in Ghana, the president, the moment the president assumes that position as the president of Ghana, that great respect is accorded him. When Nana Addo wasn't the president, yes, he was just an ordinary man until he became the president of Ghana. Whenever he's going, look at the dispatch right that people give him. That doesn't make Nana Addo a god, or meaning that Ghanaians are deifying Nana Addo or we are worshiping Nana Addo. No, the position that he has assumed accords respect. The same applies to the Pope. So we are not deifying the Pope. We are not worshiping the Pope. We give the Pope the respect based on the position that the Pope has assumed, being the leader of the Catholic Church, being the leader, the shepherd of the church. So great respect is accorded to him. So anyone who has the notion that the Pope is the successor because he's being worshipped, nobody worships the Pope. The Catholics do not worship the Pope. Catholics, we worship the supreme being. He is the one that we worship. But so far as the Pope has assumed that position, respect is being accorded to him. And even scripture says that we should accord anyone respect. Any person who is being dignified must be respected. And that's the reason why the Pope is respected. So anyone who thinks that the Pope is 666 is a great liar, and then he doesn't know what he's saying. Others have the version that within the mitre of the Pope, that number 666 is written in his mitre. Who tells you that? Nothing of that nature is being written in the mitre of the Pope. There are other symbols. We have already treated the symbols in the Catholic liturgy. You could see a symbol in the mitre of the Pope, which has a meaning, as we have already explained. So if you see a letter R and then Omega, meaning that Jesus Christ is the beginning and the end. There's nothing like 666 being written in the mitre of the Pope. So my dear friends, I would like to advise you and encourage you that never think that the Pope, and never allow anybody to deceive you that the Pope is the one, is the successor. The Pope can never and never be the successor. If they want people who are sex, then anyone who deifies anybody, worshipping anybody, such a person is a successor. Or anyone who deters people from worshipping God, the supreme being, such a person is a successor. And this is not done by the Pope. So be encouraged, remain in your faith, and then we believe that we are in the true church. May God bless you. Amen.